Welcome to Sports Live Media on YouTube. It's you guys, Sports Live. I'm at Hanceville High School, and today I have a special guest with me today. Today I will be joined by Drake Bentley, a standout athlete and senior at Hanceville High School in Hanceville, Alabama. He plays football and basketball and does other things too with sports. Thank you for taking a few minutes with us today. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Good. How did you first get into sports, and when did football become your sport?
So I first got into sports. My dad, he played football at Hanceville. My grandpa, he played football at Hanceville and played at Jacksonville State. So football's always been, I've been going to Alabama games my whole life growing up, ever since I can remember. For me, at first, I was baseball and basketball. That was the only thing I did growing up when I was younger. I played baseball for Coleman. I got the chance to go on to play in the Little League World Series. That's streamed on ESPN. I actually got to go play in that when I was 8 years old. So I've been around sports my whole life. I was 12, and I was, baseball. I had, all the things, hitting coach, all that. And so I was like, I just need a break for a little bit. So I took a year off. And my dad and my mom and dad, they're real big on, two-sport athletes, because when you play one sport, it works out the other one.
Yes, I've heard that.
And so they were like, you can choose another sport. And so my mom, she was always real lenient on me playing football. Just because, the contact, she was scared, her baby was going to get hurt.
Well, of course, that's how moms are.
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
So she let me play, and actually my first year that I played, my very first pass that I caught was a touchdown. It was against the Coleman Cyclones.
Yeah.
And that was in fourth grade, I think. I did that. I started playing football. I stopped playing baseball. I love football. I always tell the funny story. When I was in the 8th grade, what transitioned me from quarterback to receiver, I played quarterback growing up, and kind of what transferred me to play receiver was I was at practice, and it was really dry. Like, it had not rained in forever.
Yeah.
I'm back there at quarterback, I get the ball, I go to throw it, and when I follow through, I didn't see the ball at all, and I threw it backwards. And it was from that day forward I realized I needed to start catching them and stop throwing them.
I got you.
So that was my transition to play receiver, and then ended up, going to a bunch of camps, getting coached by a bunch of, great guys who are now playing at, high level football.
Yes.
Just because of, connections from my dad and this and that.
Yeah.
Well,
that actually leads me to my next question, and you've partially answered it, but we'll still ask it anyway.
All right.
What position do you play in football, and what do you enjoy most about it?
I play wide receiver, and I play free safety. And wide receiver, I like the aspect of, to me, it's a one-on-one battle. You're with. Usually, most of the time, especially this year, because of my success, I was, one-on-one, manned up with somebody.
Right.
And for me, it gives me that, okay, I can take this guy one-on-one and end up doing something good out of it. And that right there is that's enough satisfaction for me.
Right. Well, that leads me to a follow-up. For those who may not fully understand that position, what's something that you may not realize about what you actually do on the field?
So actually, I actually talked to a college coach yesterday, and me and him were just calling. He was calling to check up on me, and we got to talking. And another thing that people don't really realize is, receivers. Everybody thinks, oh, you run routes and you catch the ball. One thing that I make sure that I excel most on is my blocking.
Mm-hmm.
I have on my highlight tape, I have multiple blocking highlights.
Yeah.
And I love to block. Like, I love, there's a play I can specifically remember from this year, Carbon Hill, Hunter Black, our quarterback, he was running out. He ended up having to scramble.
Yeah.
And, I'm pancaked the guy. And that is better than scoring touchdowns and making the big-time catch, to me, in my opinion.
So making the big hits and making the play to where even when nothing's there, something could still come off nothing?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
That makes sense. Okay, so how would you describe your role that you had on the football team?
So this year, obviously we didn't do like we wanted. We didn't excel like we wanted, but the role for me was I've always been big on giving back to the younger people and giving back to the young guys and trying to set a good example for the young guys in the future Bulldogs that are coming up. We got a heavy junior class that have some absolute dogs. And so, for me, I just wanted to set a good example, not only on the field, but off the field as well.
Right.
Because to me, that's almost a more important role than, on the field. Not all the mentors that I have, they've taught me more lessons than off the field than they have on the field.
Right, I got you. So in playing football, what's been your favorite moment or game in your football career so far?
My favorite game was probably Holly Pond this past year. I ended up with 455 yards, 5 touchdowns on I can't remember how many receptions, but broke multiple school records in that game, and so that was just we ended up losing, but that was a fun one to play in.
I got you. So. Was it fun not because of what the result was on the score, but because you were able to perform better than you have? I'm just trying to make sure that I'm understanding that right.
Right. So, it was big for us. If you go back and you watch the game, it was, bam, we would go down and score. Boom, they would go down and score.
Right.
And it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Uh-huh.
So I love high pressure situations.
Yeah.
I love being able to take a high pressure situation and be able to control it. So I felt like that was fun for me playing in that high pressure situation, knowing we got to go down and score on this drive.
Right.
And, at that point I was give me the ball. I'll go do it.
You'll find some way to make it happen, even if nothing's there.
That's right.
I got you. Okay, so what does your game day preparation look like mentally and physically?
So game day prep. Obviously in the mornings for football, they would usually bring us breakfast. So I would eat breakfast. I would get all my stuff packed, or if we're going on a away game, or get my locker ready. Because I'm a real neat person. I like all my things to be, straight, and I'm very OCD about that. So I get all that
understandable.
done first. And so then after that, usually we just have some downtime, which I like to take that time. I like to stretch, get my body right. In the morning, do more, the stretches where you're standing still, you're not really moving a whole bunch, just to kind of get me stretched out, and then go throughout the school day, do all the things. School, and then after school we eat a meal. After that, usually have some more downtime. I like to take 15-20 minute nap just to get me kind of juiced up. Obviously had to go through a school day, so take a 10-15 minute nap, give me some good rest, and then after that I go into my own dynamic stretches. Your high knees, your C skips, all those stretches where you're moving, getting the body loose, getting that lactic acid that I've built up all day sitting in a desk.
Right.
Getting all that out.
So burning the energy that you've stored up.
Right. And then we go out for pregame, and then it's game time.
Well, that actually gives me a follow-up question. Are there any routines or habits you like to do before kickoff?
So big thing with me is my 8th grade season. My grandmother, she passed away, and it's very big for me. I like to make sure she was my person. I could go to her about anything, and so it's big for me. I want her to know that I'm doing this not only for God and for our Savior, but for her as well. So I like to dedicate everything for her. So if you would pay attention to my cleats, I get my ankles wrapped, and right here I would write Mimi, because that's what I would call her.
Yeah.
And then before every game, as soon as we run out, even with basketball, I touch my chest twice right here.
Yeah.
I kiss it, and I point my finger up, because she always was big on.
So
anytime I would mess up or something like that, I would look at her, and she would always go like this right here.
Like it's okay, move on, you got this.
Right. So I like to tap my chest twice, kiss it.
So is that something that you do to give honor to God and to your family member who's passed on?
Yes.
Because I want to make sure I understood that, because some people have a thing with that. And is it based off of true faith that you have in God, or is it just based off of just knowing about that?
Oh, it's 100%. Honestly, I think it's both, really. My whole life I grew up in church. My dad's a deacon, Hanceville First Baptist.
Right.
I went on many youth trips. I love spreading the word anytime I can, because ultimately that's what He put us on this earth to do.
Right.
And so, whenever I play, I want to, show everybody that I'm playing not only for us to win and for us to, get the dub or whatever
Yes.
the case may be, but there's a bigger purpose for what I'm doing.
I got you. Okay, so aside from football, you play basketball. How does basketball and playing basketball help you as a football player?
So basketball, as I said, I played basketball longer than I played football. So, for me, it's mental. It's the mental things.
Mm-hmm.
You go down, you're not having your best night shooting. You're not having your best night dribbling. You may have too many turnovers, this, that, and other.
Yeah.
It's a real mental block that you have to get over. And, that's not only a lesson for basketball, football, but that's also a lesson for life. In life, you're going to have those challenging times. You're going to have those times where you're feeling like you can't do nothing right. And so it's very important for me that mental, clarity that, okay, I'm not having the best night. Let's prevail in something else.
Right.
I'm not shooting the ball great. I'm going to be the best passer on the floor.
So, in other words, if you're having a bad night shooting, someone else might be having a good night, and you can just assist and make sure that it happens for them.
Right.
And I'm just making sure I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying there.
I get it.
So, let's see. What skills in basketball show up on the football field?
For me personally, I think it's my athleticism. If you going back to the Holly Pond game, I had a catch in the back of the end zone. Had to jump over the dude pretty much to catch the ball for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then if you watch me out here, I'm jumping up, getting rebounds. I just try to out athlete as many people as I can.
I got you. So what does being part of the Hanceville High School football team mean to you?
For me, in years past, this last couple of years we haven't, prevailed at football, and so for me, I want to show the younger kids, the kids playing Pee Wee, Fire Plug,
right?
All those, I want to show them that, hey, just because you're from Hanceville, that don't mean you can't go somewhere,
Yeah.
So, take my case for example. We went, 0-10, but I'm still getting looked at to go play, college ball. So
yeah.
So that's my biggest thing is, I want to make sure that those kids, they understand. Okay, just because I'm from Hanceville, that doesn't mean that I can't put in the work to go somewhere with it.
Right.
So.
And so what I'm gathering is it doesn't matter where you're from. If you work hard, it can pay off,
That's
even
right.
if you're having struggles.
That's
if that's simply put.
Yes, that's one.
I got you. So, what is something your coach has emphasized with you that has really stuck with you?
So for me, I really struggled my first couple of years playing football. I really struggled with being able to go up and get the football. So this year, I tried to, emphasize that. Go up when the ball's in the air, it's mine. And so I think, I would say I prevailed in that aspect of my game.
Okay. Outside of sports, what are your hobbies or interests?
My hobbies, I have a great girlfriend, so I like to, go spend time with her. We go do things. I love to golf. I like to go out, get a couple holes in, go to the driving range, just hang out with the boys. We play PlayStation or go out.
Normal stuff.
Yeah, go out on the town or something. So
I got you. Okay, you recently participated in the U.S. Army All-American event in Texas and was named MVP of wide receivers. Tell me about your experience there and what you went through while you were there.
So it was honestly probably, had to be my top 10 experiences. One, just getting the invite, just to go out there and, really when I was deciding if it was, a route I wanted to take and something I wanted to do, my coaches, my dad, my mom, they were like, go put Hanceville on the map. Go show them that, Hanceville's here and they're here to stay. So,
yeah.
So it was, I mean, it was a great experience. Loved the coaches out there, made a bunch of connections, college-wise, high school-wise, friend-wise, and, you know, really getting MVP, you know, it just goes back to show that, you know, hard work, it can pay off.
Right.
So I put in, I run routes with my dad. We'll go out and run routes. I'm working out, playing basketball. So, you know, hard work, it does pay off.
All right, I have just a few more questions left. Do you have any plans to play football in college, and if so, tell me about it.
So yes, I'm looking to go play college football. I got one offer from Bethel in Tennessee, but I have a bunch of you know, connections, and I'm talking to a bunch of schools right now. LaGrange College in Georgia texted me today, so I got 3 more official visits coming up. I got an official visit with Lyon College in Arkansas, and then I got a visit with Muskingum football, which is in Ohio.
Oh, cool!
And then hopefully getting one to LaGrange here coming up soon.
So I guess after you go with these visits and stuff, you're going to have to make a decision soon.
Yes, I'm looking to sign the NCAA. The National Signing Day is February 4th this year, but all those schools are NAIA or D3, so they technically don't really fall into that.
Yeah.
So there's not a set National Signing Day for those schools, but I'm looking to commit somewhere late February.
So in late February, March, we can check back and see where you're signing and maybe even cover your signing.
Oh, yeah, you definitely can come to the signing day.
Just let me know, and I'll be glad to do that. 2 more questions. Is there an athlete in any sport you look up to, and if so, who?
So for me, a huge one that I look up to is one of my favorite wide receivers, Jeremy Bernard. He played at Alabama. I know he's not a professional guy, but I've been watching him forever.
Yeah.
And you know, he had a rough upbringing. You know, typical story.
Yeah.
So, you know, he actually at the University of Alabama, he started multiple prayer groups and had multiple revivals up there. And you know, I look at the thing that I love most about him is the things he does off the field, not only on the field. I mean, obviously, if you go look at Alabama and you watch their games, you're going to know who Jeremy Bernard is.
Yeah.
He's most of the time getting the ball. And so,
right.
So I'd kind of try to, another one that I like to kind of model my game after is Jamison Williams.
Right.
I really love him, you know, Alabama guy. I actually got to meet with him and talk to him for a little bit 2 years ago. So that was a really cool experience, but, you know, I love to, you know, I try my best to model my game after him.
Right. Okay, last question that I have. Where do you see yourself when football is done?
So when my football ends, you know, I'm going to school for business management to get my business management degree. And right now, my eyes are set on becoming a commercial electrician. My dad, he grew up doing electrical work, and now he's a fire protection engineer. And you know, they're always looking for people. And so I feel like, you know, especially right now, trades are the best thing to get into.
Yes.
Money wise and job security wise. You know, if you look at all the AI stuff coming out and all the, you know, this and that, electrical is doing work with all that. So that's my plan right now. But the reason I'm going to get my business degree is because, let's say I'm 3 years into college and I really don't want to do that anymore. I have that business degree to fall back on.
So that way you can still make money even if you can't play or do anything related to. It's good to always have a plan B.
Right.
I get that. Thank you for joining me today. I do greatly appreciate this conversation. Oh, yeah. It's been very meaningful, and I know everyone will enjoy hearing from you, and thank you very much for that.
Yes, sir.
Drake, in his senior year in Hanceville High School football playing, he received several awards, including the 2025 Alabama Sports Writers Association All-State Honorable Mention, Hanceville High School Bulldog Award for 2025, Alabama High School Athletic Association Class 3 Region 5 All-Region First Team, and 2025 All-Coleman County First Team Coleman Times All-Area Team. So that just gives you a little bit of more perspective on how he does things. So with that, thank you for taking the time to hear this special interview today here on Sports Live Media. If you will, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell so you can be made aware of when I'm doing special interviews, when I have sports action videos, when I have sports education videos, when I broadcast live, or when I have breaking news in the sports world. Thanks and have a wonderful day.